Welcome to a new edition of South Sound Business Report, where today we're talking small business. Stay tuned. Hello, I'm Jeff Rouse. Thanks for joining us. And thanks also to Puget Sound Energy for its long-term financial support of this program. Today's topic is small businesses here in the region, and that's why we're here at the trade show of the Thurston County Chamber of Commerce, which features small businesses as they display to the community. You know, there's been a lot of talk this political year about jobs and, more pointedly, the impact of small employers in putting people to work. One point of agreement is a basic understanding that companies with fewer than 500 employees and even smaller companies generate the vast majority of new hires and continued family wage jobs. Reid Bates owns Express Employment Professionals in Olympia. He is this year's chair of the Thurston County Chamber. Reid talked with our Holly Smith-Peterson about small business hiring.
The trend is up. I think we're seeing both certainly the number of temporary positions that we've been placing for us is at a very high point. So employers are, I think, seeing that their orders are going up. There's a level of uncertainty as to whether they can afford to hire, permanent workers. And so the temporary side of our business is very robust in both of our markets. And then we're seeing that a number of those temporary associates are converting over to permanent status.
Fantastic.
They've done a good job and maybe demonstrated their value to the organization, and I think the organizations perhaps maybe feeling a little more confident are bringing them and converting them over.
Are there any industries in particular that as an employer you're seeing more people going to these days?
Great question. We are pretty diversified in the industries that we work with, but manufacturing this year has been much better than last year, I can tell you that. In both markets, manufacturing is up. The office and professional, because we work in both the medical segment, legal, accounting fields, those have always been pretty good and steady. They don't require a lot of people, that it goes in spurts. So that segment's been very good.
Good.
So I have 4 recruiters, and they kind of focus on different segments, and it's been a busy year for us.
Are there any new niches that are coming available?
In Grays Harbor County, we're seeing a real great level of activity around the port of Grays Harbor. So Pasha Automotive has a lot of cars they're shipping overseas, requiring a lot of hands on deck, so to speak. The ag processing finished their big project. That needed a lot of people to build that. Of course, the bridge project is taking a lot of people. So those industries, the real industrial segment in Grays Harbor in particular is doing well. In Thurston County, the general warehouse manufacturing is doing well. The mills in Mason County are also doing quite well, despite this very challenging economy.
Well, and you also are with the Thurston County Chamber. From that perspective, from an overall Thurston County perspective, what are we looking at in terms of job trends?
I think there has been a high level of anxiety in the hiring process. The level of uncertainty out there has made employers a little more reluctant to make permanent positions, offered. And so, we have seen that improving, and you still have, in some particular industries and skill sets, the level of unemployment in accounting or information technology and even finance and mortgage originators and processors have been very high. I mean, there's virtually very little unemployment in those sectors. So we're seeing that continue on, and then starting to see some of the manufacturing segment in Thurston County get stronger.
Well, Reid Bates, thanks for being here today with us.
You bet. Thanks, Holly.
Small businesses are the backbone of almost every local economy. Even the King County executive said 95% of the jobs in that populous county, remember that's Boeing and Microsoft and Starbucks and Amazon, all but 5% of the employers in King County have 50 or fewer employees. Holly Smith-Peterson is visiting with another South Sound small business leader.
Aircare Solutions Group has 4 primary business units. The first is called Aircare Fax Training, and we provide emergency procedures training for business aviation pilots and flight attendants. Our second business unit is called Aircare Access Assistance, and we have a 24/7 telemedical service for business aviation. The third is called Aircare Crew Staffing, and we actually employ about 200 pilots and flight attendants on a temporary basis, and we dispatch them to flight departments all over the United States. The fourth is called Majestic Aerotech, and for that business we're actually in the commercial airline market, and we provide medical kits for some major carriers.
So it's fascinating that you've been able to put all of those components together into one business, but I'm sure, given the recent economy, there have been some pretty big challenges. Can you talk about what those have been and how you've managed to skirt around them?
Right. Well, I think the universal challenge for any business is, revenue versus expenses. We're a little unique in that we are business aviation, and our customers are typically large businesses, and when the economy fell, so did those businesses. So they had to make some tough decisions about the tools that they used, business aviation flight departments being one of them. So we felt the effects immediately from that. Yeah. So, it's a little bit different than a local businesses, that it's a kind of a trickle-down effect. Those businesses lose money, people lose jobs. Ours was a little more immediate.
There have been some growth opportunities, and tell us about those.
Some growth opportunities?
Yes, that you've taken, even though the economy has come into play.
Well, yeah, I mean, businesses that we do business with, it's not that they don't have money, it's that they have tighter budgets.
Right.
So, we have to be really creative about the ways that we work with them now. And I like to tell a story about when I was a kid. We used to go to the Little League field, and they had a concession stand, and you'd put up all your money and say, how much candy can I get with this money? Well, it's a lot like that. These customers are looking at their budgets and saying, help me, I want to get as much as I can out of what I have.
Okay.
So what we've done is we've gone into some of these customers and we've bundled products. We've said if you do this and this and this, you'll save time, you'll save money. And I think at the end it's really helped them, and they're grateful at the end that, hey, thanks for helping me out of my problem. We opened a new training facility in Amsterdam. We have actually 4 fixed bases, one in Amsterdam, Long Beach, California, Dallas, Texas, and Morristown, New Jersey. Amsterdam was the newest. I think what we said to ourselves is, look, things might not get better here anytime soon. We need to reinvest and go where we're not. So we went to Europe, and that has actually been doing really well. We can kind of pool from all the different economies, even though Europe isn't doing well. From Russia, from the Middle East, from Asia. We have customers from all over the world in Amsterdam.
Well, that's fantastic that we see here a local company doing great things and creating new jobs. Martin Hamilton, thanks for being with us today.
Thank you.
An interesting perspective. Thank you, Martin Hamilton. A recent nationwide survey of small business owners on behalf of Western Union found that most are feeling stretched by challenging economic conditions. And yet, 79% of them believe next year's revenues will be increased or perhaps the same. So is optimism a requirement to be a successful small business owner? Holly?
And let's talk about optimism. You seem to have a very positive attitude about what's going on in your business. What do you think industry-wide the attitude is?
Well, I think there's guarded, optimism at this point. I think everybody's kind of ready for this economy, the slow economy, to be over. I think we're all looking for some signals before, you get very aggressive with that. So I think, again, we continue to try to position ourselves to be ready and able to react when things start to move. And I think a lot of our customers feel the same way. We're kind of ready to get going. Where a lot of us are looking for some elements to help that, maybe from the government or whomever. But I think it's guarded optimism. No one wants to return to the way things were a couple of years ago. Well, in the last 10 years, they've been huge changes in the computer industry. We've gone from fairly expensive machines that were available to only a few to low-priced, more powerful, smaller, computers that are available to pretty much everybody, to the point where there's an expectation that every person and every business uses computers. And even though it was on that path 10 years ago, you know, it's now far down that road.
So there have been a lot of changes, including the recession. Your business has been around for a while. How have you managed to survive?
Well, obviously the economy impacts all of us, you know, who have a business, a small business, and those who cater to small businesses. And we've had to make changes, you know, with regard to that. One of the ways we've done that is to come up with lower cost alternatives to businesses that are struggling to make ends meet. Part of that has involved in getting involved in refurbishing computers, upgrading computers, trying to extend the life of systems for our customers, and coming up with ways to lower their cost and control their costs through the use of contracted services and managed services.
Do you see any pockets of specific growth, any niches that are poised, you know, ripe to expand?
Well, I think there's been signals, you know, within the business community where we are seeing some of our customers starting to invest, you know, a little bit more in technology. And we're seeing some of the businesses, particularly people involved in the housing and building and trades, start to actually see some business. You know, we had a number of customers in that arena who were hit pretty hard by the economy. And, you know, I was just talking to some of them today who actually are starting to see some things turning forward for them.
Okay, so there is positive outlook and there is positive growth coming. Dan, thanks for being with us today.
All right, thanks for having me. Appreciate it.
Very interesting. We'll be back with more visits with small business entrepreneurs in the South Sound after this word from Puget Sound Energy.
For more than 12 years, Providence St. Peter Hospital has been partnering with PSE's Energy Efficiency Program. As a result, in the past year, we've been able to save over $700,000 on our utility bill.
What PSE is doing by investing in renewable energy and wind farms is really an investment in the future.
We're in the community and on call for our customers day or night.
PSE is working hard to provide me and my family with dependable service.
Today on South Sound Business Report, we're visiting with small business owners from the South Sound. We have two more examples, both in the manufacturing industry sector. Thanks to this video report produced on behalf of the Thurston County Economic Development Council by Pardaman Productions.
My name is Damon Smith. I'm currently the Operations and Facilities Manager for IP Callison & Sons, and I've been with the company for 9 years. Callison's Inc., of which IP Callison's is a division, is a company that was founded in the Northwest in 1903. It is still family owned and operated. In total, we have 120 employees. Here at our Lacey facility, which is our headquarters, we have approximately 50 employees. We are the world's largest supplier currently of mint oils and mint flavor products. If you chew gum, you have most likely sampled our product. Approximately 8 years ago, we developed the headquarters here in Lacey. We did a study to look at where it made the most sense for us to expand, and there were a number of reasons that influenced that decision, specifically to expand here. We just added 34,000 square feet to our existing warehouse and production facility. The scope of the project also involves the addition of 6 office spaces and a relocation of our IT department and of our servers. Previous to this, our headquarters for the executive groups were in Seattle, and our laboratory and manufacturing were in Chehalis. So there was a natural midway point. Working with the city of Lacey that we'd worked with before, they were not only very accommodating but also efficient in helping us meet that deadline of getting this project completed in a timely manner, which then allowed us to accept the incoming harvest. One of the more recent projects we've undertaken with the Port of Olympia is to develop this site here in Lacey as a foreign trade zone, which gives us some competitive advantages within our business. From a manufacturing standpoint and a logistics standpoint specifically, find that this location is extremely central and has terrific access to an infrastructure which allows us to efficiently ship and move material from here to our customers. Well, manufacturing, I believe, is the foundation of much of the U.S. economy, and a healthy manufacturing sector bodes well. It employs a large number of individuals, it's a skilled labor force, and there are opportunities for growth.
Healthcare providers make up a large and growing part of our South Sound small business economy, and it's growing as more of us are living longer and medical treatments are developed to keep us alive. As the healthcare world grows, it also impacts other areas, like real estate.
My name is Priscilla. I've been a real estate broker since 1978. We started Prime Locations in 1988. We manage, broker, lease commercial and investment property. St. Peter was renting actually my building in Hawkesbury, had been for many years. And one day they called me up and they said, well, we won't be renewing our lease because we want a major expansion in the Hawkesbury area. This facility is 28,500 feet. It is primarily for primary care doctors and their patients, although we do have an endocrinologist here. There's a huge residential component on this side of the freeway that is very underserved by most services. So by putting this clinic here, Providence was making a statement that we believe in the growth of Hawkesbury, and we believe that this area is the prime backbone for an expansion. On the campus of St. Pete's is a new critical care unit. It's a 21-bed facility of the highest caliber, cost $11.5 million. The Providence Foundation is a group of donors. They have stepped up and contributed $1.25 million toward this project. That unit is going to be something. And one of the things I really like about it is that it has facilities for patients' families to wait in a nice way. Hospitals are huge facilities, expensive to locate, and they serve an acute population of patients. Clinics like this one, I think, will probably be the wave of the future.
Hi, my name is Jace Munson. I'm an owner and the CEO of Berschauer Phillips Construction Company, and we are the general contractor and construction manager for the new Olympia Orthopedic Surgery and Physician Center in West Olympia. Olympia Orthopedic Associates was very proactive in engaging Berschauer Phillips as a general contractor early on in the design process for this project, and in doing so we were able to provide input into pre-construction, land use, and permitting issues, which we felt was a substantial benefit to the project. Olympia Orthopedic's new facility is a 63,000 square foot ambulatory surgery center, which includes 6 operating rooms, full pre-op and post-operative care facilities, as well as a 35,000 square foot medical clinic that encompasses walk-in clinic, patient rooms, physical therapy, and a full spectrum imaging center. Olympia Orthopedic chose this west side location because they already have a presence in eastern Thurston County with their facility adjacent to St. Peter Hospital. This new facility allows them to consolidate a couple of existing practices in West Olympia and Tumwater. It also allows them to not only service the western Thurston County patients, but also from Grays Harbor, Lewis, and Mason counties as well.
Today we're speaking with Mariella Cummings, CEO of the Physicians of Southwest Washington. Welcome, Mariella.
Thank you so much. It's a pleasure to be with you today.
Tell us about healthcare as a business. It can be a large business and a small business as well. How does that fit into what your company does?
Healthcare is big business nationally and locally. In fact, in Thurston and Lewis counties, the hospitals are the major employers, probably second only to government in terms of the employment sector. But more than that, it's the healthcare delivery system, hospitals, doctors, therapists, dentists, home care providers, skilled nursing facilities that provide a safety foundation to preserve and protect the health status of everyone in our community. So while we are a major employer sector, we are also part of the fabric that allows this to be an attractive place for people to live and work and be healthy.
So the small businesses, in essence, the small one doctor practices are part of the bigger network, and so it's all sort of an ecosystem.
Yeah, historically about 80% of the care received by people in the United States was delivered by medical practices of 5 or fewer clinicians. While there is a recent trend for hospitals and insurance companies and other people to form, large medical groups, they are doing that to achieve both quality improvement as well as economies and scale. But in our community, there are very many, still a majority of the medical practices that are 7 or fewer providers. Within my company, Physicians of Southwest Washington, and the medical offices we contract with, the average size of the practice is 3.5 clinicians. That would be doctors, nurse practitioners, or PA. So it's still a small business that has to work together, because the challenge of having a wonderful health delivery system like we have is that no doctor today can provide everything that a majority of his or her patients need to provide. So patients move among and between facilities, practices, imaging centers, hospitals, and what PSW strives to do is improve the communication and coordination and connection as these clinics and hospitals work together, so that you and I get everything we need, and that there is clear information flow to support that, so we can be healthier.
Excellent. Well, Mariella, thank you so much for being with us today.
Thank you very much.
We have talked before on South Sound Business Report about the tremendous economic positive impact from Joint Base Lewis McChord. We meet now a small business operator who has found business opportunity serving our military neighbors.
My name is Dan Penrose. I'm the project manager for the South Sound Military and Communities Partnership at the City of Lakewood. And the South Sound Military and Communities Partnership is a group or a consortium of cities and counties around Joint Base Lewis McChord who are dedicated to assisting the military with their mission and supporting our service members in our communities. One of the things that the South Sound Military and Communities Partnership really wanted to find out was, where does the service member population live around the installation, and what are their needs and preferences? No one had really asked that before. So we commissioned a survey in November of 2011, surveyed 27,000 folks on base using their email addresses, and we got 3,500 responses back. What those responses told us is that they live in pretty much the places that we expected. They live predominantly in Lacey, in DuPont, in Yelm, in Lakewood, in Puyallup, and then also in unincorporated areas of the county. There's at least $3.9 billion annual payroll coming out of the Department of Defense that's being plugged into the community. Now, not all that money's staying here, but a lot of that money's staying here. And certainly the family members who are here are purchasing things and buying things and engaging in commercial activity throughout our region. And that's something that we need to be aware of and take whatever opportunities we can to improve that and enhance that. It can also be businesses in the Thurston region who are taking advantage of opportunities on base. The challenge with those contracts is you have to tee yourself up for them and qualify for them, far in advance of the money actually being offered.
My name's Tiffany Scroggs. I'm Program Director of the Procurement Technical Assistance Center, a program of the Thurston County Economic Development Council. And I'm standing here today in front of the statewide headquarters of the Washington PTAC program. The businesses throughout the area find great opportunities in doing business with Joint Base Lewis McChord, the Navy, and other defense marketplaces across the state. PTAC program helps businesses by providing technical assistance on how to find those opportunities, how to bid, how to win those government contracts. As Joint Base Lewis McChord continues to grow in size and scope, we see opportunities for local suppliers and subcontractors as well. For construction spending alone, we expect $2.4 billion in spending between 2010 and 2016. As the statewide lead for the Procurement Technical Assistance Center, counselors across the state are ready and prepared to support businesses in their efforts to sell to the defense marketplace, including Joint Base Lewis McChord. In Thurston County alone, in 2011, we saw $227 million in contracts go to local firms, and that equates to jobs, facilities expansion, and opportunity for new development.
They're plugged into our communities. They're here. They serve as soccer coaches. Their kids play on the sports teams, and they're really kind of part of us, and we're just trying to make sure that we're making wise decisions. That $3.2 billion in annual payroll, that's all opportunity that we can do as a business community. We can do a better job grabbing. There's a lot of ways that I don't think the business community has tapped quite yet that we can take advantage of.
And that's our South Sound Business Report look at small business. We thank Thurston County EDC and Parliament Productions for sharing the video reports. We also appreciate Puget Sound Energy for its long-term support of this program, and Richard Aronson, Mobility Media Design, for his production on this program. We'll be back again next week, same time, same channel, and hope you'll join us then.